Alrighty, welcome back to part 2, Act 2 of our Path of Exile playthrough. So, starting right off, what you can do, this is optional, and I'm going to give you guys a lot of just optional things because it's all about playing what you enjoy the most. So, if we go back and talk to Nessa for our reward for Merville, we can actually get Lightning Arrow if we want to. There's a bunch of different other skills that you could go ahead and pick up if you want. Siege Ballista, you can get Rain of Arrows, whatever skill that you want to. I like Lightning Arrows, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that one. And you can always just purchase whatever other thing that you want. If you want a different support one, feel free to go type in support. We can maybe get the added cold damage. We can get another one of these. And I wanted to try to mix that in with my Ballista. Instead of getting added lightning because it's going to require us to get intelligence, I'm just going to get added cold. Makes things a lot easier. But we could go talk to the NPCs. Sometimes they might have like a reward for us if you complete a quest accidentally. Sometimes you can accidentally complete some of the quests, and there's not like any bad quests to complete. It's just some of the rewards are kind of useless. Like any of the skill point ones, we're going to do all of the skill point quests, obviously. We can talk to the NPCs here, just so they don't have the exclamation mark. Now this quest over here, the White Beast, will give you a Quicksilver Flask. It's optional. You can mouse over to see if there's anything that you want. There's other things that modify items. What we ideally want to get is a Orb of Alchemy so we can trade to get a unique. Now, we could also get a leather belt because it gives us life. That would be better than this small amount of physical damage. If you want to see how much more damage we have with this belt, it adds 10 damage. Is 10 damage better or basically 10% of our life? I would say the 10% of life is way better. Because that's about what it gives us for like numerical stats. I'm going to also throw this on, and this is going to give us additional stats over here. So we're going to use the Whispering Essence of Greed. Bam, throw that one on. What do we get? We got some more lightning res. Cool. It does something. As long as it does something, I don't really need that anymore. This we don't need. You start like destroying the stuff. Now, if you have an extra Quicksilver Flask, you can actually sell these. We'll talk more about selling later. Just want to get right into the gameplay aspect. So let's keep it going. Okay, so we're going to start off going through the right side. I like to go through the right side first, but it really doesn't matter too much. This one's going to give us another essence, so we can use it for crafting later. And we'll talk more about like loot filters and other things as we get towards the end game. As I don't like to overwhelm people with too much content earlier on. When I tell you to download all these other things or like get these other programs, it can be overwhelming. And that's what a lot of beginner's guides will do. And it makes sense to download programs, but I know a lot of people, they just want to hop in and play. That's why I do my playthroughs. And I've been doing these for quite an amount of time. Like, we've done several League Starter walkthrough guides, and we'll walk you through everything. All of the endgame bosses, because you have to learn the bosses. So this is an optional quest where you get to go down in the den and you kill a great white beast, and then you get a Quicksilver Flask. We already have 3, so it's unnecessary. But if you want to do it, it's an optional one. We're just looking for the exit over here, which is going to be the crossroads. Over here, so you're going to go to the crossroads, and we definitely want the waypoint over here. This is very important that we get the waypoint. Some areas the waypoint doesn't matter because you just go through it once. But just follow the path and you'll get to the waypoints. Let's throw down some of the ballistas and just keep it going. Put in our other skill point. I want to get this extra movement speed here. Just going to keep on going. And then eventually I want to try to get maybe some extra mana leech. We're going to get some more mana. But sometimes it depends on what you get in terms of the drops. If you get some stuff that has like mana on kill, then you don't need to get the mana leech as early on, but I eventually do like to get it. So we're going to go from the crossroads to the broken bridge. So broken bridge is just utilized for one thing, which is to kill Kraityn. We don't need to come back over here. There we go. Upgrade that to added cold damage support. Cool, let's go grab this corpse. Let's just go grab whatever items they give us. It takes a long time, I've noticed that. So we're going to go visit the Necropolis and just go get our free item. I like this just because it gives you instantly just a yellow item. Increased physical. What What do we have? Well, like, what's our weakest slot right now? I'd say probably our amulet still. Our amulet's probably the weakest out of everything that we have. So, jewelry, amulet, craft it.
So that you may guide their hearts to glory.
Strength, lightning damage. Yeah. Pretty much just as bad as what we have right now. Now, sometimes you have to check because if I don't have the requirements, then I can't use clarity. So, I will have to keep this on because it gives us plus intelligence, which we require it for one of our things. Like, ideally, I want to try to get something that has strength, which that thing does give us, but unfortunately, it does not give us. This could be actually okay, but again, it requires strength. It's a good base for throwing on another essence because it gives us a good amount of evasion and armor. So how this game works in terms of defenses, evasion will just be a chance that you just don't take any damage. Armor will reduce physical damage. Pick up all the wisdoms. For the most part, it's still going to be worth it. These things are way too fast. Okay, yeah, it is. I just moused over and it had haste. So now we get to go a little bit faster. There's also a chance to suppress spell damage in this game. And so what that means is when you have 100 spell suppression, that means you reduce the spell damage that you take by 100. You reduce it by 50% when you have 100% spell suppression. So there's no point of going over 100 unless like some sort of modifier gives you like reduced chance to suppress damage. But eventually we're going to get 100% spell suppression. So we won't have to worry about spells killing us. The thing that usually will get you killed in Path of Exile is heavy physical sources of damage. But with our build, usually we'll kill stuff so fast it doesn't really matter. With the exception of obviously bosses that you just have to learn how to dodge. Let's see where is the... Oh, this extra chaos damage. Gonna find out where the boss is. Now, as far as clarity goes, we're still okay right now with our mana. Okay, like I think... How's our mana doing? Yeah, we still have to pop a potion once in a while. I want to get it to the point where we don't have to pop the mana potion. Like, ever. So, we can invest the 3 or 4 points into it. It might be, like, actually right there. That one spot that we didn't check. That's how it is in action RPGs, man. Always the layout. Of course it was. So, how Act 2 works is there is 3 bandits and you get to side with one of them. We're going to kill... You can kill all of them or we can... well, hold on. You can see what bonuses you get with it. We're going to kill him. So you can give us extra like attack speed and a small amount of movement speed, which... Normally I love movement speed, but the other option that you get is like so much better for leveling, which is Alira, which gives you 15 to all resistances, mana regen, and crit damage. Crit damage is almost useless for us because we don't really have enough at the moment.
The king of rats.
So we're going to grab that. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys what I was talking about before. We're going to go exit to the character selection. And so we can do Necropolis, so it only shows the one character from the league. But we're just going to go right back in. So this saves us a portal scroll instead of going back to town. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to exit after we get the amulet. We can also identify the items. See if we get anything good. Okay, so this one over here, this is going to be an upgrade. We can actually throw in another gem if I want to. So I can level up another gem here. And then let's see if any of these are good. It gives us some dexterity. What does this give us? This doesn't really give us anything except for the clarity slot. So I don't have another blue slot. Do I really need clarity? I mean, I'd like to have it, but I'd rather have this right now. See if this is any good. This is giving us extra life, cold res. What is this? Okay, well, that's just going to be better. So just getting some small upgrades here and there, and sometimes you're going to have to move around stuff. We can also identify this, see if this is any good. This is giving us a bunch of strength, giving us life. So this one giving us strength actually does do something, because then I can run vitality. So I'm going to run vitality, We can't throw in Molten Shell yet. We actually do want to get Steel Skin, and I want to show you guys what that does. I don't have any like room for it though. Not right now. So we're good on that. We're just gonna sell basically all this junk that I don't need. Okay. So, yeah. Let's go see if we can go grab Steel Skin real quick. So we're gonna go back to Act 1 town. Just so I can show you guys kind of how this works.
Hello.
Oh, thank you so much, Eminent. I really appreciate the sub, mates. Thank you, thank you. Now we are going to, yeah, like I said, we're gonna go buy Steel Skin. So we're gonna grab Steel Skin here, and I'll show you what this does. We can also show you guys what Vitality does. So usually on left click is where you'd want to put this Steel Skin. I'll show you how it works, and it just automatically kind of activates as you just kind of move. So we're gonna go back to Act 2, and this time we're gonna exit the left side of town. So how this works with Steel Skin, oh, can you not like do it anymore? I think they might have actually changed this. You can't put it on left click anymore? Okay. So if you activate it, what it does is it lets you, it's a small duration, but you activate it and it'll absorb that much amount of damage. It absorbs 70% of the damage that you take into its damage. So you'll see where it says 145 and went to 140. You used to be able to bind it to left click, but I think that got disabled because there's a new gem that they want you to use that automatically activates it whenever it's ready. So that could be a buff or a nerf. For me, I'm probably just going to activate the thing that gives it to you automatically. So I'm not going to even bother with Steel Skin. It just lets you remove bleed, which is kind of nice. But I'm going to run Vitality. So that just lets us regen HP. So it's 10 life per second just gets regen. So that's quite nice. But I'm trying to just run a bunch of different things to show you guys. Also, see how this bridge, there's like a gap? So in that gap, if I just use dash, it will let me go past it. Also, from the riverways, we're actually going to try to go up to look for the next area. It's a nerf because you lose an additional gem socket, yeah. Well, if you had room, then I guess it's not that big of a deal. But I'm surprised they actually just removed the left click. I thought that it was just like an additional thing that they were adding. Oh, there's a shrine over here. It could be a good shrine. Let's see, what is it? Brutal shrine. This just makes it so our hits have knockback and more damage and stun.
Do not worry, little beast.
I'm not up to that just yet.
But overall, for me, as far as that goes for our build, I mean, I just liked it for ignoring the whole bleed mechanic in the campaign. Later, I mean, you could just run cast when damage taken. That also works. So I'm going to activate that.
My mana is gone.
So for me, it does not matter at all. So yeah, we're going to get the waypoint at Riverways, and then we're going to go to the wetlands. And we actually do want to try to get the wetlands waypoint because we'll want this for later as well. There's a lot to this act, but the first thing I like to do is rush and getting the upgrade to get the mana regen, so I don't have to consistently pop my mana flasks. Although I would like to have clarity too, I just don't have room on the build. I need another blue socket. And there are items like this jeweler's orb that will give us more sockets, but we just don't have to have one. Actually, I can RNG it right now. I may lose my dash though. It's very rare that I would lose this, but we're gonna go for it. So I'm gonna convert it. Oh, we got lots here. Okay, cool. This worked out. Now it doesn't always work like that. So now we can throw in clarity and we can throw in vitality. And so you can see I lose 100 mana, but I have mana regen and I have health regen now. Also, we have another skill point. Gotta kill these things. We'll put it in after we kill like Oak or we get to the spot. Yeah, you definitely want the waypoint here because we're gonna come back. So there's Oak. We can go fight him. Level up, so we have 2 skill points now. Oh. See, unfortunately you can't go through these gates, but there are some gates that you can go through with dash. but it just happens to be on the other side. Alright, so here we go. So we have 2 skill points, and what do we want to grab? There's a lot of options here that we can go for. There's this increased life that we can grab. We can get the increased life. And I think that that's not a bad idea because this one will give us some small movement speed, but this is going to give us increased maximum life, extra evasion rating, which could all be good. But getting one of these life nodes right here, the plus 50 to life, is actually quite great, and I like getting that earlier on. And then the thing that I really like to get is specifically this over here, Essence Sap, so I don't have to bother at all with mana. I think it's kind of a nicer thing to grab earlier on. So I'm going to grab this, so more HP, more movement speed. And then we're going to get some extra HP as well. So more defensive stats. So we're going to go ahead, throw down some turrets, and then we're going to talk to Oak. He gives us extra life regen, some physical damage reduction, which is quite nice, but we're going to kill him. Because mana is the most important. Oh, we're getting some lag. Oh, massive lag spike, but it's all good. He's pretty tanky, so don't worry if it takes some time. We get him down, and we get, what do we get? Oh, we got maybe a new armor. Grab the amulet, and like I said, we do want the waypoint for this area. I'm gonna go see if it's in the middle here, so I don't have to walk all the way back. Again, anything that's like that, like golden tan, beige color, pick it up. Oh, we're getting some massive lag. Alright, so the game just kicked me out. No problem, whatever. We just got to go back in. Sometimes that may happen, especially day one. Oh, it could have been my internet too, but especially day one, though, this is totally normal, so I'm just going to keep it rolling. And if you want to open up a new area, this should still have the same area, but if I hold control and click on it, we can open up a new instance. We don't want a new instance, though. We want the same one that already has like the map revealed. So basically, we were somewhere around here, and it just kicked us out. So again, the first week of Path of Exile, it happens, man. If you get disconnected, don't worry. It happens to everyone. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up this. Some of these can be dangerous to open up, but don't worry if you die. It's part of Path of Exile, especially if you're playing softcore. Not really a penalty. Now later on bosses, or if you level like 90 plus, dying is no good. You want to avoid that. Alright, now we got the waypoint. That's what we want. That's what we're here for. And once we get the waypoint for the wetlands, we're actually going to go back to the riverways. This is where, like, if you didn't have a guide, it'd be kind of difficult, Path of Exile, because the order of this stuff is so much more efficient. So we're going to go from the riverways into the western forest. And then we're going to help Alira here. So we killed the other 2 bandits. Oh, nice. We got the waypoint. Although waypoint is technically optional here. So I want to help Alira ASAP. So I want to look for her. There's actually 2 things that we're going to try to do over here. So we're going to not only help Alira, but we're going to grab this item to actually go back into Act 1. If you remember in Act 1, there was a lady that blocked off an area with spikes. We're actually going to solve the spikes that are blocking Act 1. So we're going to go to Alira, and here we don't actually have to set up our turrets because we are going to help her. So we get 5 mana per second, 15 to all res. Yeah, it's like the best. She's going to give us an item called the Apex, since we have both the amulets. You have to kill Kraityn and Oak before this happens. So now that she gives us this, we're going to actually do 2 quests. So first things now, we're going to follow this path. There's another strongbox, so I'm going to open it. Keep in mind, these could actually kill you. See how it says detonate corpses? That will absolutely kill you if you're too close. And we are looking for this. This is what we're looking for, the blackguards. So we're going to kill the blackguards, and there's going to be an item that we're going to get from Captain Arteri. And you get the emblem. You put the emblem right here. And you're going to go ahead and place the... or once you place that emblem over there, we are going to get a skill point as our quest item. Now, as far as leveling up Vitality, I'm not going to level up anymore. I want the extra mana that we need. So now what we're going to do is we can use a portal. You can log out if you want to, but because the servers may be having issues, I'm going to use the portal. So now we're going to go back, and we're going to go back into Act 1. This is where, if you didn't have a guide, you'd be kind of lost here, like as far as how this goes. So now that we've cleared it, we're going to go back into Act 1, talk to Bestel, and he's going to give us a skill point. Look. And bam, we got an extra skill point, and we're going to identify these two things. So this gives us 24 life. What does this give us for life? 5 life. It's a little bit better in that aspect, but overall, I'd rather have the evasion rating that's way higher. This gives us attack speed, lightning damage, some regen. This one gives us attack speed, armor, life. Okay, that's no competition. That one's way better. Way, way, way better. I mean, this one gives us more flat damage, but the life, I'll take the life and evasion rating. So we're good on that. What's this one? Let's get rid of the iron ring. Another skill point. Like I said, we're going to get this extra HP. Keep it going. And later, if you want to adjust the skill tree to whatever you like, that's fine. But for now, we're doing that. Now we're going to go right back into the Western Forest over here. So what we're looking for is another area where we're going to be getting another item for a quest. Oh, that was actually pretty fast. We found it. The Weaver's Chambers. There we go. Act 2 is kind of long too. The first 2 acts are a lot longer. Ooh, we got a first unique in the game. So this is unique. Unlike Diablo though, the uniques aren't super like insanely powerful where it's like 400% damage to an ability. So what this gives us is a decent amount of attack speed. It makes us, we don't know physical damage. Now we get 1 to 85 lightning damage. Is that more damage? Well, the best way to do that is to find out. So we have 515 and now it's 605. Is it better? Well, it gives us a bunch of attack speed. And like when you have a bunch of attack speed, it makes the game feel better, and that's the reason why I like it. Plus it has this kind of cool skin. Now, again, it doesn't give us a massive upgrade at all. But anything that says like plus to physical damage, that doesn't matter anymore unless we convert it. Now, Ice Shot converts 50%, mouse over the skill. So it converts, where is this? Should be 60% of the damage to cold. Now, there's another thing that we can get over here where it converts 40% from physical to cold. So that way, all the physical damage doesn't get lost. So this is where Path of Exile gets big brain and you can do cooler stuff with it. But at the moment, I don't feel like it's super necessary to get that. It's not that bad though, if I was to keep using this bow, but I'm not going to. This bow is terrible. It's more memes, but let's go ahead and continue in here. But at least you guys got to see our first unique drop and what it looks like. And don't get too excited about uniques in this game. Most of them are pretty bad, especially while leveling. There are some that can be good, and we are going to be buying some that are good. And I'll show you guys how to buy items. And we're just kind of looking for like an Orb of Alchemy. If we get like 1 or 2 Orbs of Alchemy or a Chaos Orb, we can start engaging in trade. And it's optional. So if you don't want to trade items in the game, by all means, you don't have to. But I'm trying to show you guys all the ins and outs, all the bells and whistles to Path of Exile and how to be as efficient as possible with this game. Man, these things are tanky. Or it's evasive. What's our chance to hit evasive? Still 100%. But yeah, you can see the mana is much better now. So now we're going to take the spike. That's the only important thing. And then we're going to talk to Silk. Now at this point, if you want to, you don't have to log out. I was doing it earlier because it was faster. Now, do I want to keep this? It's not that bad to keep it, to be honest. It's up to you. But hello, Zeno. How you doing? Let's go ahead and see if this circlet's any good. It's giving us what, 38 life, increased rarity, and it has the sockets we need. Nice. Throw those 2 in, and yeah, just a small amount of increased life. It does just give us energy shield, no evasion rating. So that's kind of a disappointment. Less cold res. I think I'll take the evasion rating. The other reason why is like it has another socket in case I want to like move some stuff. It makes things easier. So we're gonna get rid of that. See if this is any good. Nope. We still need to get movement speed on boots, but we can actually just buy an item that will have it. We need to get some scrolls of wisdom. Now you can convert alterations if we go to sell. If we just grab one of these, we can just get 4 for one alteration. So that'll be like an easy way. So we get strength and dex, 6 all attributes. I don't know, let us still use. Oh, this is gonna make it so we can't use it because we require more int. Now, what we can do just so we can meet a lot of the requirements, like a lot of the stuff is just gonna require just a little bit more strength and a little bit more intelligence. We could just get 2 points into this. I think that that's what I want to get after we get this one over here to get the 50 life, which is massive. So we'll talk to Silk once we get the spike, and then he's going to give us a reward so we can get one of these. Now, elemental damage with attacks is definitely what we want, so we're gonna go grab that. And if we had another red socket, we could just throw it in and upgrade it. You can also swap weapons, and then you could. The default is X, or you can click over here. You can see that you can swap the weapon. Now let's go ahead and continue. So. Now we are going to do Intruders in Black. So we're going to go back to the crossroads. That's why I wanted to get the waypoint. The first thing that I like to do is, again, completing the quest to get the Aliris. We're going to open up the strong box. You can also use your currency to modify these little strong boxes. We're going to go collect it. Plus 1 minimum number of link to have up to a maximum of 4. Okay. Let's see if we can get an item here. This will be definitely worth it.
This'll do.
A 4 linked would be great if we can get one. Because I don't believe we put in any items. Like I said, I'm just doing this ASAP so we can do the mechanic. It may be better to wait, but I think I'm going to go for armor. We're going to go for body armor. And let's see what we get. Ideally, we'd probably shoot for boots, though. Yeah, you know what? Because our armor is like, it's not terrible right now, and the boots definitely need that upgrade. So if we can get boots with movement speed, or... well, that's a no upgrade. But it's like so fast to do this. I like it. I thought we would have to kill the monsters again or something. So there's actually 2 areas that we can go to. So we can go to the Felshire Ruins at the Crypt Level 1. Since I know usually this is to the, like, down to the right, we're going to go to the Felshire Ruins so we can get our class ascendency. You could do this later. Some people do like to do it later. I'm just going to do it now since we're already in the area. Since we're not doing, like, some sort of speed run for, like, the end game as quickly as possible. I want to get to the end game as quickly as possible, but, like, you still need to do this. And it's going to be better, I would say, to do this now. Wow, there's a lot of items over there. Maybe we get some stuff to use. Oh, also, if I right-click on this, I can hold Shift, and basically what that allows me to do, that's not too bad, is use multiple scrolls of wisdom. So I don't have to right-click, left-click, right-click, left-click. It makes it a little bit faster. But there's a lot of strong boxes here, which is, I think, great for, like, the leveling experience. As far as this league goes, I actually kind of like the strong boxes just kind of thrown in. But yeah, once we're at the Felshire Ruins, we're looking for the crypt. So pretty much it should be bottom right, like go down and to the right. Usually the map, I don't know what the default key is, but if you need any of the, hopefully is my face blocked? No, you guys can see that. So if you click on menu, you'll have all of them. You can see what I have bound. So for me, it's U for the world screen, and that shows me like the little map. It's usually to the right is where the crypt will be. Check every little sliver. Oh, nope. Yeah, feel free to throw down a couple ballistas and just keep going. I got hit by like a curse. over there. Some curses will be pretty deadly, especially the one that makes you take more physical damage, considering physical mitigation is a little bit harder to get with the dexterity evasion based characters. So there's like this hole here. You can get more item quantity, but there's like monsters deal extra damage as another type. If you see any of these things, they're gonna blow up, so just move out of them. You have enough time. It's like some big elite. Okay, cool. Maybe we'll get some other upgrade. I don't even know what it was, but we're just gonna go see what we get. Oh. I don't really care too much about what the mod is, because we should get movement speed very soon. Physical modifiers. Craft me some boots. Some armor, some boots.
So that you may grace them with fleetness.
No movement speed still. Wow, that's really unlucky. Let's see if we get something good off this. Dex life. I mean, stats are pretty good on it, actually. And then we have to reactivate. Anytime you swap the gems, you're going to have to reactivate it. And just more evasion, more armor. Because again, we don't have very much physical mitigation. Right now, we have 44% physical damage reduction, which is usually huge. It's huge. Now, keep in mind that scales to like the area. Like, that's not 44%. I can run it to the end game. Yeah, later that will mitigate like 2% or something once we're towards the end game. So you'll have to keep on getting more armor, but usually you're not going to get that much armor on this sort of a build. You get way more evasion. You can scale armor, but it's just a lot more difficult. Hello Zero. Yeah, happy league start. Happy league start, Kappa. What build are you playing, Zeno? Okay, we're gonna go over here, and we're finally gonna get to the crypt. So this area will always kind of look like this. There we go. So we want to go to the crypt level 1, and we're just here for the trial of ascendancy. So we get the waypoint, and then we will go to the Chamber of Sins. Because this is used to go to our super class. Wow, we didn't pick it up. Don't worry about the whetstones. They're not like super important. Later you can pick up stacks of like 20s and 30s. Alright, that's Crypt level 2. I believe it's at level 1. That's where the trial is.
I'm not up to that just yet.
If you want to, I believe there's also a quest here for it, but we're just doing the important one. Where's that trial? Oh, cool. We'll just collect the corpse. This one I'm not going to go in immediately. It said like caster modifiers. Oh, there it is. So if you see the little book on the minimap, top right, or if I hit tab, that's where it's at.
Fear gnaws at the entrance.
So what's this one got? It's got little spinning spike traps. But since we have vitality, we can actually like take some of the damage. So these little switches, sometimes they do stuff, sometimes they really don't do very much. We're just here to get to the very end. But since we have vitality, it makes the whole like leveling process so much smoother.
Shine boldly,
And we just need to get one more, and then go to the trial. So what we're doing now is we're going to go back again. Now we're going to go to the Chamber of Sins. We're going to get this extra thing for extra life. So it's 655. And then we're going to get our first, like, notable. Alright, so now we're going to go back to the crossroads. See, this is where, again, Path of Exile, it's kind of complicated. Otherwise, some people would be very lost. Doing a random arrows, artillery ballista. Ah, yes. Then you're going lightning arrow. Yeah. Lightning arrow is good. Oh, speaking of lightning arrow, we got the skill, and I should have showed you guys how it works. So this is lightning arrow. So I'm going to remove ice shot for lightning arrow, and I'll show you what lightning arrow does. So as far as damage goes, it's, what is it, 556 compared to 631. Now keep in mind, we have an upgraded lightning arrow. I like how lightning arrow feels, and I'll show you guys how it looks and stuff. Lightning arrow is really good because how it works is it's going to hit 2, or actually, well, it changes as you upgrade it, but it hits, oh, it's 3 additional enemies near the target. Well, I think it actually got buffed this league, right? So that's great. So yeah, we're going to use Lightning Arrow now instead of Ice Shot. Now, if you want to use Ice Shot, by all means, it's still a fantastic skill. But the reason why Lightning Arrow is one of the best skills for leveling is because it hits multiple things, like, instantly. Ice Shot, how it works is it hits the enemy, then it has a cone that hits behind, but Lightning Arrow just hits adjacent targets, so it just does it instantly, and it doesn't have to worry about where the target is. Now, there is a brand new Transfigure gem for Ice Shot, and that brand new Transfigure gem makes the Ice Shot not hitting a cone behind, but to the sides. Or I think the exact wording is perpendicular to its hit. So we'll have to test it out. Sometimes you gotta test and see if it's any good, because it might sound good on paper, but you gotta like get the feel of the skill. But yeah, Lightning Arrow is fantastic. So you can stick with Ice Shot, you can go Lightning. I actually like Ball Ice Shot way more than Lightning Arrow, because later bosses are going to be kind of like the thing that's the bottleneck. I mean, you can still melt bosses very fast with Lightning Arrow. But I'm talking about like the endgame pinnacle bosses. Yeah, Vault Ice Shot dunks on Lightning Arrow, because like hitting additional targets doesn't really matter as much, because, well, there's only the boss. But you can also identify these strong boxes. Sometimes with strong boxes, if it freezes you or it has exploding nearby corpses, you just die. Oh, there's a bunch of support gems over here. Faster attack support. Let's grab that. That's the only thing I really care about. Huh, random that there's just a bunch of gems just chilling there. Hello, Prince. How you doing? And hello, Nano. Yeah, the new Pewee League came out, so we up early now. But sometimes I think about it, I'm like, well, do I really want to wait in the queue, and I'll come back an hour later, and like, then I don't have to sit there in the queue. But I don't know if there was a queue this time. Alright, so Trial of Ascendancy over here. Important. Do all these. So some of these, like I said, they don't really do anything. So you can see this one just trapped us in here. Some of these do troll you, but it's to make sure that you kind of pay attention to actually what happens versus just W keying. Like this one, I think this one locks us in the room again. Oh, was this one moved? There we go, we got them all complete. So yeah, Chamber of Sins level 2 and the Crypt level 1. It's weird that one of them's level 2, one of them's level 1, but that's the game, man. That is the game. But yeah, Lightning Arrow, like, you can instantly feel like it's night and day difference between Ice Shot. Like, Ice Shot is good, and I've played through the entirety of the campaign with Ice Shot, but Lightning Arrow, oof. Instantly feel the power. And that's how some skills are. And you might think that, well, is that because it's not balanced? Not necessarily, because Vault Ice Shot for the bosses, when you guys see it, what happens is you summon, I think, like 5 additional archers, and they all shoot out. It looks awesome. And it's more DPS for bosses. But what you can also do is still use Lightning Arrow to apply shock, and then with the shock you get more damage anyways with something called Mana Forged Arrows, which we will talk about later. Because the Ice Shot, it does chill and freeze enemies, and if the enemy is not moving at all, it's like literally frozen, right? That's a huge source of extra defenses. So while Ice Shot might not do the same amount of damage or same amount of clear speed as Lightning Arrow, you do have a lot more clear speed, where the other one, it slows him down, so it's like more defensive, right? So now we get to pick a gem here, so we can get Herald of Thunder. So these give you just a small amount of just elemental damage. If you want to grab one of these, sure. Which one would I recommend? getting Herald of Ice is probably ideal because this one reserves 25%. Do I have extra slot though? Added cold damage. We're gonna swap this one out. And now we're gonna run this Herald of Ice. So it's another aura, so it's gonna reduce our mana, but that will be okay. It will be worth it. So now what are we gonna do? So we can go to. Do we have the this thing? Okay. So we can go with this item, the Meligro Spike. We're gonna go over to the Vault Ruins. Okay, and let's go continue. So yeah, we're gonna go from here. And what do we have for time? Okay, 40. I like to know the timestamps, and the reason why is because in the pinned comment, I will have like all the important quests to do. Ooh, contained items have 2 additional sockets. That's actually really good. Did we get anything good though? Not really, because they're not linked. So it didn't really help us. If there was any 4 sockets that were linked, that would be a massive upgrade. Because we can throw on like added lightning damage or something to our build. But now we're in the Vault Ruins. And then we're just gonna start killing some stuff. I think we're gonna be getting our hideout soon. Yeah, we're gonna get a hideout very soon. Oh, let's keep it going. Woo! Level up. Now we're gonna get the additional 50 life. Oh, we need to activate the Herald of Ice. So if you hold control, you get basically another skill bar. So you can see I hit Control Q, and now we get this additional cold damage. How much do we get? Okay. What was it? Oh, it's what is it? 5 to 7 cold damage, but then it gives us like a Herald like explosion, which is great. But yeah, it's just a small amount of LE damage. And the reason why, like, normally we're doing lightning arrow, right? So you think we want lightning damage. Thing is that it's going to require us to scale intelligence, and then we're not doing that. Not right now. So we got another skill point, and we're going to get our first, like, notable... Oh, a Chaos Orb. We're going to be able to buy our first item. Now, if you don't get a Chaos Orb, it's not a big deal. You get an Orb of Alchemy, whatever. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys trade if we have enough time in this one, or we can start the trade in the next one as well. So I'm going to go and get the plus 50 life. So bam, we have 700 HP now, which is massive. Because we have enough damage. Everything's just pretty much dying in like one hit. If the elites don't die in one hit, that's fine. It's not a big deal. The thing with lightning damage in action RPGs, lightning always rolls like 5 to like 100. Like the range is very large on the damage. There is one support gem that's actually pretty good. That is a newer one, which makes the range even higher. But since lightning rolls from 1 to whatever damage, it doesn't really matter. Lowering your 1 damage to have like a greater range. So instead of it, like, let's say you have 1 through 100 damage. The modifier would then make the 1 even lower, but it doesn't matter because it's already 1. But the higher end can go way higher, which is much better. Do we get movement speed yet? It's actually ridiculous that we haven't gotten movement speed on boots. Alright, let's see. Can we please get movement speed in these boots? Ah, we got movement speed, but we don't have a 3-link. And is a 3-link worth it? We're probably just going to buy it. I'm going to convert this Chaos Orb into something else. Well, that's actually a big amount. You got 2 resistances plus 6 life. What does this give us? 9 life? It's like so small, but we're going to lose out on our vitality. Do I care about the vitality? Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Like the regen. I can just pop my stuff. I would rather have like this massive amount of evasion rating. And it gives us 2 resistances. I'll take it. Also, do I have an armor scrap? So if you see, this is armor scrap, increases the quality. So instead of it being 247, now it's 249. And each quality that we put in will go up higher and higher. And you can have up to 20 quality on the base, like the normal. But you can go technically up to 30. Is it 31? You can go, I think, up to 30 if you use these tainted things, but that requires the thing to be corrupted, which we'll talk about later.
Ready, Exile? It is time to hunt.
Oh, the tags on Twitch? Oh, it's just like there's like default tags that you can throw in. So like, yeah, it probably says we're playing like competitive because I like to play Overwatch as well. So it's just like generic tags that put you as a streamer in that sort of a category, if that makes sense. So, oh, this is important. So once we're in the northern forest, which I believe we got the waypoint for, I'm just gonna double check. If you're unsure, because this happens sometimes, just make sure you get the waypoint and just click on it. If it's lit up, that means it's available. All right, so this is ritual. This is another mechanic that usually it's more towards the end game, but I'll show you how it works. So you click on the altar and you just kill a bunch of monsters, and then you get to pick a reward. The reward. Oh wow, this is like pretty difficult, I'd say. Okay, so you're gonna be able to select some rewards. Wow, it's actually really good for that early on. Wow. Here, I'll move my face out of the way so you guys can see it. So as you complete more of these, you'll see more rewards. I'm actually going to do this ritual. That's actually really good. So ritual is bound to the area. So as in, if I leave the area, well, I'm not going to be able to continue the same rewards for that same ritual. So we're going to do, oh, plus 50 life modifiers. Wow, they're giving us a lot of upgrades like ASAP. Actually, a big surprise. Oh, whoa, what the heck is this thing? Something's pretty crazy for the elite over here. I think it's like a... Oh, is it this one? Einhar's got to capture it. Where is Einhar? Is he even here? Oh, there's a ball orb. We'll pick that up. This thing is kind of ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. That thing is pretty tough. And Einhar's not here, so he can't capture it. So we can't actually kill that thing. Oh, there he is. So yeah, we want to kill the monsters in the circle, then it's going to resummon them. So I think we can get that bow, and that bow will probably be a pretty nice upgrade. Like, I was genuinely impressed with the league mechanics that are in the earlier game. It's 100% we're doing it. Because this is how it used to be for like every single league. You don't do any mechanics, you rush the end game because all the rewards are pretty garbage. But these rewards are actually pretty good. Okay. So this one has 3. You see where it says 2 out of 3. This one, there's another ritual somewhere. It could be super far off to the side. But what I'm trying to do is trying to show you guys what a hideout is. But I also want to complete this ritual because I want the rewards. These are great rewards, actually. Here's the last one over here. Ideally, you want to kill all the monsters in the ritual circle so you can get more what's called a tribute. So we have 785. And now we're going to get like a really awesome bow. Very soon. We're big upgrade. But the monsters are getting kind of hard. I can definitely tell. And I want to get a much better bow. The bow that we're running is pretty garbage. Okay, so this one, you can do what's called a defer. So what that means is you click on the item. Oh, can you not defer in the very beginning? So that's weird. You can't defer? Oh, so you have to, okay. So what that means is like you're saving an item for later. So are any of these actually good? I mean, it was just a bow that was like kind of nice to grab. What else do we have? Omen of the Soul Devourer. So we'll be consumed, level up to grant Soul Eater for 5 minutes. We get an Essence of Greed. So what I want, like the thing that I mentioned was like this bow is actually pretty good because it just gives you a bunch of lightning damage, physical, and I don't really like this bow anyway, so it's just something to show you guys. So we're gonna grab that, and then what else can we grab here? Increased damage with bow skills. It's giving us 13 life. It's like doesn't really matter. We can grab the Orb of Chance. We can get the Essence of Greed. That one will be good to grab. I think the Essence of Greed is what I want, but I'm gonna double check if there's anything else that I could actually use. And then that's it. So that's all we got with that. And this one has some extra green sockets. So we're going to move this. You can see our lightning arrow is 674. And now we got some more damage. And this item, even though it's a like legendary, where's our added cold damage? We'll throw that in there as well. I mean, this thing is so bad. By the time I'm actually gonna like get another 3 or 4 link, we're gonna get a 4 link armor or something pretty soon. We have 2 extra skill points over here. We can get some extra life. And then I want to get the like mana problem solved, so I don't ever have to pop a mana flask. That is an option. There's also these other things where bows can fire additional arrows. I like that one a lot as well. We won't get crit until like later in the game, but that is something else that we can look forward to grabbing. We can also look for conversion, because the thing with lightning arrow is that we just want to convert to some sort of element. Eventually you can get something that converts it. But what I want to do is I want to solve the mana problem ASAP. I just don't like having to pop the flask. So now that I've done this, I'm just going to go back. Again, these ritual things will be kind of random if you encounter them, but it was definitely worth it because I saw an item that will give us a little bit of an upgrade. So what we're going to do from the northern forest is we're going to be getting a hideout. I already have a hideout, so I can skip it. But what you want to do to get a hideout, you can go into the Dread Thicket. Because this is a new player's guide, you won't have a hideout, so you got to do this. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Dreaded Thicket. There's another ritual. Cool. If I wanted to do it, I would do it, but it takes a little bit of time. I kind of want to just keep it pushing. But it could be actually worth it. Genuinely. If you feel like you're lacking in an area, like I definitely could use... we could do it. It's really not that bad of a thing to do. But what are we at? 51 minutes? Okay. So I try to keep these play sessions at about an hour-ish each. Later, some of these acts we can get done a lot faster. We just have not gotten movement speed. And maybe I can use the ritual to get boots with movement speed. Or I can take the Chaos Orb and convert it into, let's say, 3 to 5 Orbs of Alchemy. So anyways, more importantly though, Dread Thicket. What we're looking for is this fleur-de-lis. See how there's a little like blue thing right here? This is what we're looking for. This is a hideout. We're going to be using it later for trading. It's kind of like our little area that we can go to. So this is the Lush Hideout. And we can go in here. And how you unlock the hideout is you kill everything. And because it's a new player's guide, I'm going to do it. It probably won't say it because I've already got the hideout. But once you kill everything, it'll say hideout unlocked. And then we'll talk more about this later. But this is something that is definitely necessary to do. So, oh, now it says Lush Hideout unlocked. We've already unlocked it, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to go back into the other area. So we're going to go, and we can talk to the NPCs if we want to, just so that there's no more exclamation mark, and if there's a reward with one of these, they would give it to us. But we're going to go back into the northern forest. So that's where we originally were. That's where we got the first ritual that we showed off. And we are going to go up. Oh, I think they've changed this layout. So what's nice is they used to be like super far on the right side. They used to be kind of split apart. So they have, I think, changed some of the map around. They definitely gave us way better rewards as we progress. But we're here just to get to the end of the act boss, which is this giant like mechanical monster. You have a rare recurve bow? Oh, I appreciate it, Zero. But I'm going to do a like new player's guide, so I don't want to take any items. But I do appreciate it. Because, like, I probably have some friends that are already, like, super far in, like, so I don't know if they're all playing on the league, but if I was to take items, if that makes any sense, then some people would feel like, oh, you just got an item, then that's why you're super buff. But I appreciate it. I really do, man. I appreciate the team play. Because I don't want people to feel like, oh, he got an item, I can't kind of follow his build guide because he just got the super OP item. But we're going to get OP items, man, and a lot of these items are going to be super cheap. Like, this build, the only unique that I play is ascendency, and what that is a helmet that activates spells when we shoot with a bow. And the item is basically free, like, it's next to nothing. It's super, super cheap, and the stats on it are absolutely garbage, though. But what it gives us is it gives us the ability to teleport. It's like if you play Diablo 2, think of it like having Enigma. Like, it doesn't matter. The Enigma could have 0 stats on the item, even though it's not a bad item at all. But you use it for the teleport. Oh, there's a 3 link, 3 socket. Now, I can swap my boots. Although I'm probably just going to get a 4 link Nomic Storm and I'm going to be zooming pretty soon. Nova Storm a little dangerous, but there's nothing else at the same price point. I mean, we're talking about these boots that are unique, and I can maybe show off trading at the very end of this video, because I think it's important. It is one of the most important things that doesn't get shown off in like newer players' guides, because it's kind of tedious, I'll be honest. But it is 100% worth showing off. And how trade works sometimes is people don't respond. So if people don't respond, don't worry, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just the way the game works. And we'll talk about selling items and stuff later, but pretty much we're just going to be looking at buying items in the earlier stages, because selling requires you to kind of understand like, oh, what is this item kind of worth, and you need like a tool to kind of do it. So it's just much easier to buy items. But I'll teach you guys it. Teach you everything. We're going to get a Wrath's Reach. We're going to get a couple items. So if we get Gnomic Storms, Wrath's Reach, or we get Lionized Paws. Okay, I'll tell you guys all like they call it the Twink gear, where you get the super strong items for your lower level, or Smurf gear, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, we're just here looking for the boss. We just go from the Ancient Pyramid. We're looking for like a giant mechanical like boss looking thing. It's got a giant like it's not a bulldozer, what is it? A wrecking ball as arms. It's kind of what it looks like. But yeah, I love getting Alira earlier on. How's our mana actually? I think other than bosses, our mana is pretty fine, but I want to not run mana flasks, and all I want to run is triple Quicksilver flasks, maybe 2 life flasks, and that significantly increases our speed as well as our defenses, because movement speed, believe it or not, in action RPGs is a form of defense. And it's actually a form of offense. So like very, very high level like understanding of action RPGs, if I can move out of the way and start shooting faster, that is actually more DPS on a boss, right? Like if the boss has like an ability where you got to move out of the way because he's going to do a huge attack and it's going to one-shot you. The faster that you can move out of the way and start shooting the boss again, the faster the boss dies, right? So movement speed is actually offensive and defensive, especially if you're looking at like Diablo 4 with its gauntlet system. Now you need to get as much movement speed as possible. It's like the most important stat. If you want to be as fast as possible for clearing. Now looks like we gotta go all the way around. Sometimes, just like in any action RPG, there's like that small area that you gotta go to. Alright, stairs. Let's keep it going. But the helmet that we picked up, yeah, it's another 3 links, so definitely use it. But we're going to be getting a 4 link soon. Very soon. So what we're looking for is the apex. Here we go. We're at the apex. And if you see any of these little, like, hammers, click on it. It's a crafting recipe. We're probably not going to be crafting, I'm going to be honest, that much. I usually just like to buy the items already made, especially for a beginner. It's so much easier because crafting requires a lot of RNG, and then it's honestly a waste of money for 99% of like the beginner players, because you spend so much currency to try to get it to one point, and if you mess up on one stage, and it's not even your fault you mess up, it's just you have a 1 in 30 chance, good luck, just buy the item, you'll thank me later. Alright, so yeah, this guy's got wrecking balls for arms. He's really easy though. Most of the bosses are pretty easy from this point on, as long as you understand the mechanics. So basically, you kill some small stuff, he pops up, he says hi for a bit, and then you're back to killing the small stuff. When he makes that sound though, and the sound is specifically like a mechanical arm going up, it goes, you just move out of the way. That's when he's doing his slam attack. That will probably kill you. Although I don't know what our damage reduction is right now. 16%. Okay. Or physical at least. I want to say it's physical, but I'm honestly not too sure. It could be chaos damage. The blue could be lightning, could be cold. I don't know. You're gonna have to go look that up on the wiki. I never looked up this boss. I know most of the endgame bosses that matter, like, you know, Shaper does cold damage, or whatever boss does whatever damage, but this one, he's like so easy, doesn't matter. It's only really the first boss that I find to be actually challenging in the campaign. Alright, so what do we get? We got a Rustic Sash, maybe that could be an upgrade. That's pretty much it. I mean, we're not going to be able to run that because we won't have the requirements. We got an amulet here. Some mana regen. Mana regen's not too bad, but I think we need the intelligence. Yeah, we need the intelligence for clarity, which... Are we running clarity still? I think we're still running clarity. This way we don't have to deal with mana. Alright, so we're about an hour in. I think we can go briefly into trading. Like I said, again, pick up all these little crafting recipes. You'll pick them up as you go along. Oh, just one-shotting everything feels so good. So now we're going to be getting to Act 3. So in the very beginning, you'll see Clarissa. She's this girl that you got to save. The damsel in distress. Okay, so she'll say thank you, and then you gotta save her boyfriend. Ooh, there's 2 strong boxes. Like I said, you can identify these. This one, like, explodes. That's dangerous. Caustic Orb on Death. So these things will follow you, but you have to, like, hold still, and then you move out of the way. See what we got. We got a strap leather. Oh, I don't really need that thing anymore. Let's see if this is any good. 48 life is good, but this is giving us like 50 strength. Do we need strength for anything? Not really, I guess. Strength also does give us life, so let's see which one gives us more. So this one gives us more life, but this is give us lightning res. This is giving us fizz damage. I'll just take it because of life. Huh. Necropolis locker decoration. So this is new. This is... Huh. I haven't seen that thing before. But there's that strap leather that I wanted to pick up to see if it was any good. What we're looking for specifically, and this is going to be throughout the entirety of the game, on anything that is not like your, like, bow, most of the stuff is just, you want life on almost every single thing. So life here, life here, life here, life on your rings, life on every single thing except for on your bow, because it doesn't roll life. There's not really any good defensive stats that you can get other than if you add cold damage, in theory you could chill and or freeze the target, but in most cases all your defensive stats, like, you just want resistances as life. That's kind of like the go-to. There's also this thing called the ascendency, and we are going to do some trials, and eventually we're going to be able to go in and get a super class. So with our other skill point over here, we can go ahead and put in over here, so we can just not deal with any of these clarity or any of these mana things. So what I want to show off now is the trade. Okay, so this is 100% optional. I believe you can do this on console as well, though console trade I think is a little bit different. So one thing that is important is the website. So this is the official Path of Exile trade website. This is all optional, okay? I'm just letting you guys know. So what I want to do right now, and this is optional, you don't have to do this now, but it's great to still watch this because when you get the currency, you want to know how to do it. Move my face out of the way. So what we're going to do, in the very beginning, if it's your first time, it'll say like sign in with Steam or sign in with Xbox, PlayStation, whatever you're playing on, right? So you're going to go to the Path of Exile, make sure that you're selecting Xbox or whatever, and then you can see where it says Necropolis. Make sure that that is selected. It should, by default, it should already be set to do that. But what I need to trade for is I have a Chaos Orb. So the currency that will actually be something that people want. People want all the currencies, but just to make it simple, Orbs of Alchemy and Chaos Orbs are like the good items in the very beginning to kind of trade. Sometimes people, they won't want like whetstones. As far as like one whetstone, you're going to need multiple stacks. If you want to know kind of what the ratios are, you can go to the trade website and then you can do the bulk item exchange. So here's how I'm going to be doing it. If you had Orbs of Alchemy, we could just start trading immediately. But a lot of the items I want are so cheap that we don't need to trade a Chaos Orb. So this is what I want. I want Orb of Alchemy. I have Chaos Orb. I hit search and it's going to load it up. So a lot of people, we can go contact, and then we're going to hit direct whisper. It's going to automatically whisper them in game. Oh, it's cool. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on the little blue swirly thing. It's going to teleport us to their hideout. Their hideout can look like whatever. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Get 5 Orbs of Alchemy. Hit accept. And now we have 5 Orbs of Alchemy. If you already had Orbs of Alchemy, great. Fantastic. So we're already in Act 3. So what we are going to be doing now is I need to get some of the items that I want. So these are all going to be like the uniques or legendaries if you play Diablo. But these are going to be super beginner friendly ones. We're going to look for Wrath's Reach. So this should be like anywhere from like 1 to 2. And what I'm looking for is ideally 4 links. So I'm going to go hit the filter over here, and I'm going to be touching links. I'm going to try to hit 4. See if we can get a 4. A 4 will cost 1 Chaos Orb. Well, I just traded mine. Oh well, too bad. You can honestly get these. Sometimes you'll see them for cheaper, but this is the cheapest at the moment. So Wrath's Reach, not going to be an option right now. So I'm going to go ahead and instead just search for whatever and try to get a cheap one. Now, this one over here actually has pretty high elemental damage. This is actually one of the highest ones that you can get. So I'm going to hit Direct Whisper because I don't really care about physical. I'm just going to be here for the elemental damage. This is the highest roll. It rolls anywhere from 60 to 80. So I'm going to hit Direct Whisper, and I'm going to whisper him. And then if I hold Shift, and I can select how many of these that I want. I'm also going to get rid of this thing. This thing isn't really worth anything. Sometimes people won't respond. That's totally normal. So if they don't respond, you can whisper another person. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. So that guy didn't respond. I'm just going to go down the line on the next one. I can also go to filter. This guy hit me up. Okay, no. So I'm going to go to buyout price. I'm going to say 2 alchs. So 2 orbs of alchemy. That's what I want to pay. And then I want to click on this one, and it's going to sort it by the highest one. So that guy didn't respond. The next one is this one over here. And we could actually search for a 3 link. Let's see if we can find a 3 link. There's 1 result. Oh, cool. This one's 2, and it's 3 linked. We can maybe use this one. So let's see if we can get this one off this guy, and then I'm going to buy a couple more items. Again, these are all going to be beginner-friendly items that are super cheap that you can get. So sometimes you'll have to wait for them. And we'll give it a second. He says 2 seconds. No problem. So what you can do while you're waiting, sometimes people are doing something. They need a minute. No problem. We're going to type in Nomic's Storm. Oh, he's here. And then sometimes people will come to you. Sometimes you got to go to them. It's kind of just like the luck of the draw, I'm going to be honest. But it doesn't really matter. I showed you guys how to go to their hideout. 2 orbs of alchemy is going to grant us that. Bam. There we go. Now I'm going to throw in lightning arrow. And that increased elemental damage requires strength. So I can't run it yet. And we're also going to throw volley. I'm going to swap this out. And then we're getting Nomic's Storm. So we're going to get some new boots here. So Nomic's Storm requires us to be level 16. And the reason why I like these boots so much is it gives us 35% movement speed, which is pretty massive. There's not really anything that's going to give you that amount of movement speed in the game. There's also another good pair of boots called Lion Eyes Paws. These are also really good to get. This one's 2 orbs alchemy. We have 3 orbs of alchemy left. So this one triggers rain of arrows when we attack. So it's more damage, adds fire damage, gives us 20% movement speed. Now, Nomic's Storm gives you 35% in total, but you only get the increased movement speed. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, you get 40% movement speed. So it's 20% flat. You always get 20. You get an additional 20 while you have full energy shield. But there's a downside of 15% increased damage taken while you're on full energy shield. So it's up to you. Which one do I personally like? Well, Nomic's Storm is kind of expensive. It's 3, while Lion Eyes is 2. Yeah, I would rather just get the Lion Eyes Paws then, because it's cheaper. There we go. And Lion Eyes Paws will be quite great. And now I'm going to see if I can use the last Orb of Alchemy to get a 4 linked chess piece. So we're going to go to his hideout. Sometimes people have anime girls as their hideouts. Don't worry about it. Like, there's a lot of funny like hideouts. So we're going to pick up this. Now, I can't use this yet, but once we hit level 30, I'm going to want to use that. So now we have 1 Orb of Alchemy left. So with our last one, and again, keep in mind, you don't have to do any of this. If you don't have like the currency or whatever, it's okay. I might have more stash space than you, by the way. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. So this bow is going to give us so much more damage because it gives us what's called chain. So what happens is the lightning arrow can then chain to another target, or even ice shot can chain to another target. Chain is the sexiest thing ever. It's absolutely amazing. But we're going to be using these boots soon. The helmet we could think about using as well for maybe our shrapnel ballista. But I want to try to get a 4 link if we can possibly get one. So there's also another good item. Let me see if I can find it. I was typing the word sign because I don't know how to spell it. Oh, it's Tesalios. Okay. That's how it's spelled. So Tessalio's Sign, another fantastic item that's really cheap because it gives you, once you chill the enemy, I mean, that's 40 to 60 cold damage. There's nothing in the game that's going to give you that much evasion rating. It's crazy good for leveling. Very, very fantastic other ring if you have more currency. And you can buy these later, and I'm going to buy more of these as we progress anyways. But what I want to get now is a chest armor. So what I want is something that has evasion, because evasion bases will generally have, I'm just going to type in like 10, it doesn't really matter, because they're going to have more green sockets. So armor will have reds, green will have evasion, and then energy shield will have blue, generally. Now, you can keep on re-rolling, and you can RNG and get an evasion base that has 6 blue sockets, but the chances of that are pretty low. But what we want is 4 links. I don't really care too much about the colors because I just want it to be evasion based, and we want it to be item category of body armor. So we're going to type in body armor, evasion, links 4, and see if we can get one for 1 orb of alchemy. We also should probably type this in because this is important. We are level 27, so for the level requirements also, I can just control F level, item level, let's see, not the item level. We're looking for the requirements. Isn't there a... Did they move that? Did they move it? Should be like item... it's not under require... Oh, here it is. Requirements. Check this in. Level. Maximum, let's say like 35 here. And then let's hit search. So, look at... There's a couple items. So now I'm going to try to refine my search because there's 2,000, right? So now I'm going to put item rarity. I want it to be rare. Or we could type in unique. There's not really any good unique, I think, especially for 1 orb of alchemy is all I'm willing to pay. So there's probably not going to be any uniques at that price. So what I want to do now is I'm going to type in rare, and then let's see if anything pops up. We got 16 options here. All right. Now this requires 43 strength, but this one gives us strength, so that is pretty good. So what does this give us? This one over here is giving us energy shield and evasion, and it's got extra life and mana, so this is kind of nice. This one's pretty good. The first one's looking pretty solid. The sun leather doesn't give us any good stats. This one's giving us some life, some cold res. This one's giving us 4 life is so low. Don't get anything that's unidentified because, well, you're going to have to identify it, and it could have some other stats that you don't want on it. How many are here? So when there's only like 16 results, right? Oh, this one actually has a lot more life. So life is usually what you want, but I'm probably going to be looking at that sun leather because it gives a massive amount of evasion. And there's another thing where you get like double like the stats of the evasion rating. This one's pretty good too because it gives us armor. But it requires 43 strength. Now, do we have 43 strength? Well, if I had that one belt before, then we would read the requirements. But I don't read the requirements, so I'm going to get that sun leather over here. Now, the stats on this are absolutely garbage. We could use a Chaos Orb and reroll all of them, but it's an absolute waste to use it on this. So, honestly, all this is giving us is just a massive amount of evasion. But it's a 4 linked one. Now, I have another option. So, I have these 2 essences here. This one in armor gives us cold res. This one in armor gives us life. So this one is actually going to be useful because it's going to guarantee us to get 15 to 30 life. So, again, this is where Path of Exile gets complicated. I know we're only in the second part of the video, but it's good to show you. I'm going to look for a normal one because we need to convert a normal into the other one. And then we have 144 over here. We're going to look for whatever's giving us the most amount of evasion over here. So this requires us to be level 35. I kind of want to use this earlier. So we can actually lower that if I want to. Let's see what else we got. 38, 39, 33. I can change the level requirements also. So I can go to the filters and let's say I put like 30 in. So I don't have to wait as long to get it. And there's a 326 full leather over here. And we can go ahead and purchase it. I'd prefer to have 1 red. Because I want the elemental damage with attacks. So this requires us to be level 28, so we can use this very, very soon. We're literally 1 level. So I'm going to hit this guy up, and we get this for 1 orb of alchemy, which will be great. If he responds, 3 minute, he's doing a labyrinth. So he's wanting us to wait 3 minutes for this. Now, I could wait 3 minutes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there's another one that's the same one, basically, and if I don't have to wait. So that does matter. Sometimes people are impatient. I'm impatient. And what was the difference on that one? It was like 20... it's another 43 evasion rating. Now, there's another item that we can get called Brisk Wrap. That's another lower level one. It's either Brisk Wrap or it's Brisk Wrap Sun Leather. So this is another great item earlier on because it gives you increased damage per dexterity. There's also Fox's Fortune. Oh, is it the base one? There's another one. Did they delete this? Or some items they do get deleted because no one like uses them. But this guy's wanting me to wait for this, and I can go ahead and show you guys other good items while we're waiting for this guy. Or I can just whisper someone else until I get the item, and I can just say, oh, okay, I got the item already. Like this one isn't that big of a deal. So I can go hit up this item over here. Again, I want the item now. Sometimes, even though people say, hey, I'll give it to you in a minute, unless it's a god tier item that like you can't get from someone else, sometimes it's better just to whisper someone else because the guy goes offline, he forgets, he swaps characters, he doesn't ever hit you back up. It genuinely happens. So what I'm looking for is basically 1 red and 3 green. So this is another one right here. So we're just going down the line looking for... I'm doing this on one screen. I'm leaving it on one screen just in case they invite us. Okay, there we go. So this guy, we can buy his. So we're going to go to his hideout and go get his item from him. And then and once we get the item first, make sure you get the item and then tell the other guy I got the item already. Thank you anyways. So I always like to do this. And people totally understand. It's not even that big of a deal. It's a very small item. Anyways, so now that we've gotten that, so at whatever level we're at right now, we're at 27. So at level 28, we're going to be able to use this. Now I'm going to hit this with the Essence of Greed. And now we are going to see what we get. Now we got 18 life plus evasion. That's great. And we got life regen. Awesome. So this was a W. I mean, it's a small W on the life, but ideally we just want like resistances and life. That's pretty much what we're looking for on almost every piece of gear. And what's great is we're going to get this, and at level 30, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab this one over here so we get some leech. And then we're going to grab these 2 nodes here, and that's going to give us the extra strength that we need. So we'll be at 34 strength. I equip this. It's going to give us additional strength for pretty much the rest of the game. And then we're going to get increased movement speed, and we're going to get this level 5 arrows. And there's something that we can do with specifically Lionized Paws called Hex Touch. So Hex Touch will apply the hex to whatever thing that it's linked to. So since this is automatically going to shoot rain of arrows down for us, whenever we use a bow attack, we literally get an additional skill here. It's almost like Mana Forged arrows. It's really awesome. And I'll explain this in the next part. But we're going to do Hex Touch, then we're going to throw some sort of like, I think it's called like a conduit or some sort of condition, elemental weakness. We can add a curse, so it's going to curse the enemies on hit, and everything's going to be automated, so we don't have to like manually cast the curse, then do our attack. Super smooth gameplay experience for us very, very soon. But yeah, we have this ready. This is good. And then there's another thing that we can get. I don't know if we can get this earlier. I'm going to check though, because I think it's important to kind of have a note in your head what we should try to go for. So this is Asenath's. It's either Chant or Mark. They change the name sometimes. Okay. Because there used to be like a prophecy thing that you can get with this. So this item, super cheap, perfect. This is the only item that we need for our build at the end game. And what it does is it makes it so you get to use a spell when you shoot with the bow, and we put teleport on this so we get to teleport and shoot at the same time, and it makes our build zoom and just dunk on the content, with the exception of the bosses. You actually remove it for the bosses because you don't want to teleport around into the boss's AoE. But there's a brief explanation of trading. We went over like the ins and outs, and some of these gameplay play sessions we may just like trade off stream, because it's going to take us a second to get the item. But you can see basically the ins and outs of trading. You saw like the interactions, and we've got a brand new bow, and we have 2 other things coming very soon, and we're going to be getting a lot more. But anyways, that's going to wrap up part 2 of our Path of Exile playthrough, and now we are in Act 3, and we're going to be zooming through the game. But anyways, Thanks for tuning in. Drop a like on your way out, and I'll see you guys in the next part of our Path of Exile play session.